Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to NinjaTrader Live's FOMC coverage. I'm Maggie Lake, and joining me is Senior Economist Tracy Shuchart, Senior Market Strategist Jim Cagnina, and Blake Morrow, co-founder of Forex Analytics. Hi, guys. Great to see everybody.
Hello, Maggie.
Good afternoon, all.
Hey, good to see everybody.
Hey, everybody in the chat. Party time indeed, Tom. And Music City Trader, who's usually with us in the morning, is joining in for the first time this afternoon. So welcome to you all. Fair to say this is a live Fed meeting, right? Meaning everyone is not exactly sure what's going to happen. And so it's in play, unlike other times when it's sort of so well telegraphed that we're just kind of waiting for the event to happen as confirmation. But this time it seems like there's a lot of interest and I would say jitters ahead of it. Stocks down, yields up. Of course, not only have the FOMC, but oil up sharply after Iran launched a surprise attack on U.S. forces overnight in Jordan. So that is in the mix. How's everyone feeling going into it?
Gold is still stuck in the mud too, by the way.
What's that?
Gold is still stuck in the mud, by the way, hovering around.
Yeah,
4,000.
even with all that happening. Well, because yields, right? That's been a problem, the biggest headwind for it. How's everybody feeling ahead of it? What are you hearing, Shy? I've got to think this oil situation complicates things for the Fed.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It does complicate things for the Fed because if you remember last meeting, Warsh's big issue was with inflation. It wasn't with the labor market. It was with inflation. And he was worried about tariffs, energy, and AI, cost of build-out centers. And since then, we've had oil spiking again. We did come back a little bit, but oil is spiking again, still elevated. I suspect that stays. I'm sure that's a worry on his mind, as well as we have seen nonstop spending and more announcements of spending in the AI sector and building out data centers. And so that hasn't stopped. So those have to be at the forefront of his mind, being that is what he said he was watching the last meeting. And neither one of those situations has rectified to the better.
Yeah. No, and in fact, I think that in the last meeting when he was worried about that, we've only seen, I think, so many more questions come up now that the ceasefire's over and shots are being exchanged. Even this pause with Iran launching the surprise, I think has everyone kind of rethinking the situation. I know we were all looking at like different numbers and things going into this. I saw something that this meeting, $69 million was wagered on Kalshi. The June meeting, it was only $3 million. So a lot of people getting in this. A lot of it's around whether he's going to talk about shock, say the word shock, oil shock, energy shock. Are they going to dismiss that and look through that because they somehow see it as temporary? Or is this going to feed into that inflation concern in a more serious way? Jim and Blake, how are you thinking about it? Jim, what's the positioning going into this?
Well, I mean, the positioning, it's surprisingly uncertain, I think. Traders are a little bit, this is the first time we have a CME FedWatch tool in many, many, many meetings where it's not 95% baked in the cake. We have about a 1/3 chance of a hike the last time I looked, which was a couple of minutes ago. So there's this uncertainty going on. And it's weird because it's a three-headed monster, right? We have this horrible conflict in the Middle East. We have interest rates front and center right now, and then we have big earnings coming out at the end of today and tomorrow. So it's like, what do you do? And what do you do when you're uncertain? Well, I mean, NASDAQ sold off big time. The S&P sold off big time. Gold stuck in the mud. Bonds are even starting to sell off a little bit further than they already have. Total complete risk off across the screen.
Yeah, Blake, what are you watching? What are we seeing in currencies, and what are you hearing from people?
Well, all I care about, Mags, is all I care about is yields right now, and that's the thing. You said something that if the Fed decides they want to look through, everything that Tracy was just talking about, AI spend, inflationary pressures, they want to look past like the jobs market, maybe. One of their hundreds of economists or some of their economists there at the Fed are saying that they should look through like some of the strong jobs report, anything like that. We could really have a crisis in the fixed income market, and if 30-year yields, 10-year yields start to break higher, that's like the biggest risk. Now, I do think that is the lowest probability of what's going to happen today, but it still is a risk out there. And Tracy and I were just talking a little bit ago about something that Joseph said that I didn't even think about, that he said this morning on NinjaTrader Live. Tracy, you want to talk about that?
So which one? Which part?
She's like, wait, so much is in my brain, Blake.
No,
I know. I was like,
let's say he says he just dismisses and does not want to do this conference.
Yeah. Okay. So Joseph Wang did mention this morning, he doesn't like forward guidance, and he really could at this presser just read a statement and not take Q&A, because he has said before that he only wants to talk when he feels like he has something to say. And if he doesn't feel like he has something to say, then he's not going to take Q&A at pressers. So it could very well be that we, even after we get this decision, and even if they hold as everybody expects them to do, we may not get any more insight than that. And we know that his statement is going to be very, very short if it lasts time was indicative of anything. And so, that could also leave the markets a little rattled.
And to just to expand on that, and that is, I've been racking my brain trying to figure out why, okay, how would we've already seen it in yields. What's going to rattle the bond market? That if that truly is the case, or that does happen, which, maybe it is a risk. If that does happen, I think the bond markets will not like that at all. And you'll see yields rally, and you'll see stocks really under pressure.
But I would be kind of shocked. I mean, he's on the hot seat now. I mean, he's been appointed by the president, and the president's all about the market. That's his gauge of success. What's the market doing right now? And just to be totally silent, that would be create even more uncertainty and send these things, I don't know how much further down. So I think he's got to talk. I think they have the lights on him right now with the lighter. He's going to talk.
I don't know. This is why I think there is so much uncertainty heading into this, because the fact that we're all having this conversation in real time, this is exactly what's happening at all the banks, on all the trading desks. And I've heard all sorts of arguments. I mean, listen, if you were in another part of the universe, there's that famous saying in the land of tech, like, move fast and break things, right? This is a different Fed. He wants this to be a different Fed. So I think anything's on the table in terms of him not saying anything. He's got a honeymoon period. He presumably has cover. You already heard Trump say, oh, Kevin, he's fine. It's everybody else on the Fed, those other problematic governors. So he's got a window where I think he can do what he wants to set the Fed in the way that he wants to lead it. So no press conference, totally possible. Could he hike? Sure, because even though there'd be
better now than later, right?
But even though there would be an initial sort of, maybe turmoil, I don't know, does that bolster his inflation credentials and credibility? And does he get rewarded after a little bit on that front? I mean, these are all the sort of scenarios different people have been throwing at me, and I think it's hard to say. It's hard to come down on one, which is why you have so much uncertainty. Even though the majority think they're going to hold, it's been creeping up and got as high as sort of 38% that he might hike. Citadel said it, right? They're going for a couple other places. Now, maybe they're talking their book. We always have to be conscious of that. But yeah, so it's super interesting going into this. Jim Bianco said something to me when I was talking to him yesterday. His thought is that this is a totally new Fed. Anything you thought about in the past is in the past, and you can't use that framework. That we are going to see disagreement within the Fed themselves. It's going to go from being this really cohesive unit that you'd find out about the dissents, after the fact, but it was really ruled very strongly by the chairman, to this being a body of individuals, kind of like the Supreme Court. And, they have their own thoughts. There's going to be much more, I don't know if infighting is the right word, but disagreement within the Fed. And it's going to have a different dynamic. I don't know. Does it seem like, is that what we're looking for today, Shai? Who dissents, what we hear from the others?
Yes, 100%. Because, most everybody on the Fed right now is rather hawkish, right? And so I think that that is also kind of a different scenario, and where Powell was kind of able to rally the troops. We didn't really have a lot of dissent with him. Warsh came in saying, where he had a family fight, but, we worked it out. So he kind of already knows, just using that word, kind of family fight, knows that there's infighting within the Fed themselves. And so I don't think that I 100% agree with Bianco that this is a totally different Fed than we have been used to for the last, 14 years.
Yeah. Jim, what kind of volume do you think we're going to get today? Because we usually, it's a little bit of a snoozer a lot of the time because everyone's kind of knows the outcome before it happens. We've got now the setup with the Fed meeting, the reaction to that heading into some massive tech earnings, as you pointed out.
Yeah, but we had some excitement. When you have these big down days, at least on the futures markets, you get way more volume on the big down days. Everyone's trying to buy dips, and it's just a disaster. So we're seeing over 1 million traded in the SPOs, over 1 million traded in the micro E-mini S&P. The NASDAQ, over 2.5 million contracts traded in the micro NASDAQ. So the equity markets are doing what I would expect in a big down market. And then we had the crude thing, this crazy gap up this morning in crude, and crude's doing okay. It's, only about 185,000 contracts so far. So not, breaking winning any awards, but still there's a lot of participation here, and it's going to drive volatility, I think, especially if there's no news, no explanation.
Yeah. I'd like to see how long the Fed governors themselves are going to be quiet, though, if there's no press conference.
I just wanted to throw in there because I just saw this go by on X. Apparently, there's some unusual options activity in the SPX. 12,800 calls with September 30th expiry traded today.
Well, it looks like we're getting a cut, folks.
Do you have a strike price?
I know. That's
looks like we're getting a cut. Joking.
8,200 they bought.
I mean, listen, we joke, but it's not funny, right? I mean, there have been so many incidents of people who have access to information who are getting in trouble, and we know the enforcement is, questionable on this.
But here's the thing, Maggie. I try. Okay, great. There's somebody buying a huge call volume activity. I'm trying to think what gets the market higher, and it really has to be the Fed keeps rates on hold, right? And they can't be dovish because, Warsh has to be, if he's dovish, then the risk is the bond market, falls, and we see yields go up, then the market's definitely going the other direction. I'm trying to figure out how the market goes higher. And I guess it's steady as she goes, cites, higher inflation, we're going to be data dependent, but we keep rates unchanged. I guess that's a hold, and maybe the stock market likes it. Or if we do get a cut, you're going to see a hike, you'll get an initial knee-jerk reaction lower. But I actually think that the market will go, we got our rate hike out of the way, and we're not going to see another rate hike. We might not ever see one in through 2027. So therefore, it's time to buy stock. So maybe we'll get a knee-jerk reaction, then down, or down then up. But I don't know how we go straight up. And maybe Jim, you can think about this. How do we go straight up from here after today's Fed? I'm not really 100% sure.
Yeah, it would have to be spectacular, Blake. I agree with you. I went to Edgeful to get some stats on this, on what happens during the Fed meetings with respect to the E-mini S&P. Over the last 6 months, on average, it's gone up 0.25%. Over the last 2 years, it's gone down 0.26. I'm sorry, I have had that reversed. The last 2 years, it goes up 0.25% on average. The last 6 months, it's gone down 0.26%.
New Fed, new outcomes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're about a minute away from the top of the hour.
Yep. It'll come in right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and I would be watching just instant reaction, see what the dollar is doing, see what yields are doing. Gold's going to look, if the dollar is going up, that's probably not a good thing for any risk. Just keep that in mind. That means, it's just keep that in mind. That's something I'll be looking at immediately. So
the 30-year tracking 110.13 right now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This, Here we go. You know, it's funny. This is the first Fed meeting I've come in flat as a pancake, and I'm nervous.
Didn't you have a little butterflies? I have some butterflies for this
Me
one.
too. And I'm flat.
That's the first one in a long time.
I know.
I don't have anything. Well, I have long-term portfolio stock stuff on, but I don't have any futures on right now for sure.
Trades, yeah. So hopefully you guys are all feeling it. Here we go. Wow.
All right. So it was a hold. And let's see what the side-by-side statement.
Wait a second. Was it?
Actual 3.75, 3.5.
Okay.
It's a hold.
Why? What's the blank that you see?
The only statement change was the date. And instead of a 12-0 vote, it was a 9-3 vote. The committee is continuing its policy of maintaining ample reserves in the banking system, and voting against the monetary policy action were Beth Hammack, Neil Kashkari, Lori Logan, who preferred to raise the target range for the federal funds rate by a quarter basis point. So we had more dissent in this one. And literally nothing but the date and the voting numbers were different. In the statement.
Bonds are trying to figure out what to do now. They're starting to sell off.
Nobody knows what to do.
So
yeah, the dollar sold off pretty aggressively.
Remember, it's not just about they sold off bonds. It's not just about rates too. I assume they're going to be looking about balance sheet issues as well, and some of the other levers that the Fed has that are not headline friendly but matter.
This is going to make that presser all the more important for certain. Hopefully, he gives the market some answers other than task force is kind of what we heard the last meeting. So, but yeah, statement was exactly the same except for the vote and the date, which is crazy because
S&P's ripping higher,
very different side-by-side statements.
Yeah, what happens if he decides I don't need to give a presser right now? We'll see everything that you're seeing right now unwind. Just FYI.
Yeah.
So
agreed there.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. I mean, we're 30 minutes away, but that's something that we do need to think about. If he just reads off the statement.
Yeah, yep. we got a good 30 handle bump up on the mini S&P. It's still going.
Yeah. I mean, it's
gold's up $40.
Taking cues from the dollar and gold right now. Gold's up, dollar's down. This is it's good for risk at the moment. Bitcoin's ripping. Crude oil, like
silver,
doesn't care.
Crude oil doesn't care. I thought that we talked about that with you earlier. I said that crude oil is not going to care either way. It's totally unaffected by that. But we do have silver ripping. We do have copper also up on that. Ripping. It was negative on the day, now positive on the day. So just about what you would think, with kind of bond yields higher. That's weird. I guess look at the 10 years. Bonds do not know what to do.
Do we think that this is relief because even though the percentage didn't say it, everyone was really starting to get like the whisper number was a rate hike, and it's a knee-jerk relief off that? Or are people thinking that even though there are dissenting Fed members, he's just going to hold? There's not going to be any rate cuts, because they're not going to get cut getting closer to the election. They're looking through oil, and this is a Fed that's not going to hike rates. Those are two different things, really, right?
I know.
No, go ahead.
I was looking at the 10-year note because Tracy said to throw them up, and it's back to, and that's not back to where it started from, but it's kind of like confused.
Yeah, it does not. It's very confused because I was watching the yields and you saw them dip and then come kind of right back. So that's doing funky things. I think with this Fed and with Warsh, if situation continues to deteriorate, say in the Middle East, and oil prices start to spike more. We've got a bunch of tech earnings come up. Let's see how much they are spending. What does that spend look like? How much more are they going to hit the debt markets? It's all about credit. I think those things will all factor in for the next meeting.
Do you think he's going to talk about AI spend?
Well, he kind of did. Yeah, he did in the last meeting, saying that the AI build out was inflationary, but also it's a one-time pass-through rather than continuous inflationary pressure, but that would last long because this build out is going to take, years. So he did mention it the last presser, that was a concern of the Fed just because of the inflationary pressures that we are seeing there. So again, I hope we have a presser. I hope we have a presser because I don't know if markets know exactly what to do with this, but we also know that Warsh really is not into talking to the press. He does not believe in forward guidance, and he really does not want any Fed member really speaking to the public.
That's going to be tough, I think. Especially if this is I don't see that. I don't see how he pulls that off. But because supposedly they had some dinner or something all together, and one of them was reading him the Riot Act about the task forces, and that was reported on.
I want to say that was Waller.
Family fight.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of, if he does I agree with you, Tracy. I think he's going to say as little as possible. I think he wants everyone to get the idea that he is not going to tell the market what to think or what they're going to do. So I think this is something we're going to have to get used to. But I think we should hear something about the task forces, right? About who's on them. And
I definitely think that he'll talk about it because that was his big thing. We're forming these task forces, and we have all these people, and some are not even U.S. citizens that are on there, and so they're going to be unbiased, and they're going to give us the information, and that kind of puts that off him for the president at least to say, look, this is what the task force found. It's not just me. It's not just the Fed, and we need to raise rates or, whatever.
I was a Fed for a while. Task forces are for political cover. They do it. The answer is what you tell them the answer is, and then you got cover to do what you want to do.
Well, I can't disagree with that. Hey, just FYI, just if you're looking at 2-year yields, they've actually collapsed where the belly's not knowing what it wants to do. 30-year yields have ripped higher too. So long end is coming off on the bond market, and yields are rallying. So but the 10-year is still kind of unchanged, or it's up a little bit, but really just unchanged.
Listen, if they can manage that,
I just pulled up the 2-year.
The economy and the stock market has been handling yields at these levels. If he can create enough confusion where it doesn't move, then that's a feat in itself. No one wants it going higher, but if it doesn't go lower, it seems like things have been able to chug along. I just think this has to put so much emphasis now on tech. This was the major hurdle to get through for the month, right? The FOMC meeting. Now it's got to be this back-to-back hearing from the mega cap tech names that are going to set the tone for everything, I would think, moving forward.
Yeah, we got Microsoft and Meta today, Amazon and Apple tomorrow. We got, I think, Qualcomm today after the close too, if I'm not mistaken. So some big earnings happening after market close. I'll tell you that the limited upside in equities, the S&P pressed a little bit higher, but everything's kind of paused, especially as the 10-year stabilized. As Tracy was pointing out, the dollar stopped going down. I actually ended up buying some dollars here on that move. Because
Quick, quick McGraw on that one.
Multitasking at its best.
That's right. I mean, hey, look, you guys are talking away. I'm doing my thing over here.
If you're gonna make trades, you gotta let us all in on it. I mean,
well, I just did. I bought a little bit of dollars, I sold some 6E. If you guys, for you futures traders, which is basically buying dollars.
All right. Well, but Tom Dog must have known that because he said if I could just import everything in Blake's head into mine, I'd be in good shape. He must have felt that you were making a trade while you were also doing a live panel.
Yeah, fortunately the producers have actually fixed my microphone where you don't hear all my dings now, which is good because they go off and it sounds kind of berserko around here in my office. So
but the other thing to throw out there real quickly, I mean, so there's only 2 more of these FOMC meetings. They sit around the table, they have bagels and cream cheese, great spread, they have their conversation, and they make a decision before midterms. There's only 2 left now, right? So that begs the question, is the window closing for any rate hike until after November?
I think people are thinking that even with this, right? I mean, I think that was part of what was fueling the bets that it might be this one, because it gets harder to do. However, I think there are Fed historians that will tell you that they have done it whenever. You know what I mean? It's not really true. And there have been hikes in election years, right before elections, right after. They like to avoid it. But I think if we started getting blowout numbers, they would. I just think that, and by the way, that was back in the day, in the way back day, when we did not have a president who is glued to his social media. So, it's even harder, I think, to do that right now. But I have got to think that, and again, I don't know how long it lasts, because this administration and certainly this president gets tired of people quickly. But I don't think Kevin Warsh is in this alone. There's a reason he got this job. I think that all of this plan was telegraphed to the White House and to Trump. I do not think it comes as a surprise. And I think Scott Bessent is involved as well. There is an effort to try to, do what they need to do, but make changes. And I think that he's got a little bit of cover from getting heat from the president from now. Now, I'm not saying they raise rates right before the election, he's not going to lose it. But I think for now, he has some cover. Yeah. They don't want to rely so much on the Fed funds rate too, right? Yeah. So again, listen to all those Fed watchers, Joseph and Jim and Danielle, and they've been all talking about how they want to start to address some of these other parts of the sort of, wonky Fed machine that matter a lot, and get the banks to do more of the lending, let it, move some of the burden off of monetary policy. So those are harder. Those aren't easy to put in a headline, but I think there's going to be a lot of movement on that we're going to have to look for.
Yeah. That's totally wise.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what they do with the balance sheet, or what kind of trickery they use. We all know he still wants to get the balance sheet down, which is not what markets like to hear whatsoever. So it'll be interesting to see if there is any mention of, or how he is looking at what kind of mechanism they are going to use to kind of cushion that kind of blow to the equity markets.
Did you say trickery?
Yes, kind of.
Monetary sleight of hand.
Monetary sleuth.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was nothing mentioned, though, on the balance sheet in the statement, was there?
No, there was not.
This is where, in the press conference, they would, presumably press him about that. But this is, I think, why he wants to sidestep these press conferences. Again, he just, if he stands up in front of the mic, he's having a press conference, doesn't mean he's going to say anything other than
that's right. It doesn't mean he has to do Q&A either.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he can just go and read the statement.
There is a YouTube set up for a press conference.
Yes,
yeah, I mean, I imagine
course, yes. He's going to read the statement. The Q&A part is what you really want to hear. We have the statement. We read the statement. He's just going to read that. He does not have to do a Q&A. But yes, there is always a presser where at least they read the statement. It's the Q&A part that we are worried about. That's the distinction there.
Yeah, and whether he'll give more information about the task forces or a timeline for when we're going to get the results and all of that. So
yeah. And you could have the illusion of a press conference by talking about that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
By
the way, Greenspan used to talk to people and nobody knew what he was saying, right? There's lots of ways to There's lots
Also.
of people had like the thesaurus and the dictionary out and the lockup. You couldn't even.
That's so
I think it
funny
was
you
by
say that, Maggie.
design.
I
Yes, it
literally
was.
had a thesaurus on my desk when Greenspan would speak.
Yeah.
And I mean, because you didn't have Google.
Yeah.
And so you just whip out the thesaurus. You're like, what the hell did that word mean? And then by the time you figured it out, everybody else that was way smarter than you had already made the move. So,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was, that's it. It was difficult, but that was, intentional, I think. And so again, I think people think Warsh got the job for this reason because he's incredibly diplomatic and can navigate that. I think he knew he was going into a somewhat hostile environment where he's got to try to get consensus and we're not being cloak and dagger about it, right? This is a difficult period for the economy and there's some really big problems facing them. And, I think everyone agrees that some reform is needed. The data collection seems, really questionable and delayed, maybe not picking up the correct signals on the economy. So there's room for improvement on all of that. So I think, some people are saying some of this may actually be good. But how can you make these kinds of changes and maintain confidence of the bond market right now? I think that's a really big challenge in front of him.
Yeah,
so
bonds
I do want.
they're drifting lower.
I was just going to say that the gold market is holding its bid really, really well. The dollar still seems pretty weak, but gold looks strong, and tens are still pretty messy, aren't they, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, tens are 108 spot 21, and then bonds are 110.06 on their way to a 109 handle. That's pretty bad. I mean, that yield's got to be over 5.2% right now.
Yeah,
I have yields at 4.63. 4.63, 10-year yields.
30 at 5.13 is what I got.
Okay.
So and that should be scary just saying that alone. The 30-year yield is blown out higher. So that's something that we need to be paying attention to going into this press conference.
And everyone that I talk to is concerned about yields and rates. That is the thing that has people most concerned across the board. People a little, I don't know if outrage is the right word, but diplomatic is not landing well with the chat. Deviously opaque. Should I have said that? I don't think I meant diplomatic in the best way that you were thinking. I think I was meaning it in a different way. But yeah, a good politician, very very political. How's that? That's probably a better way to put it.
Well, he was also Besant's pick, really, not necessarily the president's. Yeah. Besant has a lot of faith in him. He has been at the Fed before. He has butted heads when he was at the Fed before, when he wanted to shrink the balance sheet. Nobody else did. So, he is kind of used to this, and he and Powell know each other. And so... they all know each other from Epstein's Island.
Oh my God!
Sorry.
Wait, did you say that out loud, Blake? The thought bubble went into the mic.
This is FOMC Unfiltered right here with Blake Morrow.
Oh my God!
Don't clip that, please.
Some folks
don't clip
in the chat think he's more of a stooge or a good question dodger. So we have a lot of other names.
I got in the short 60 trade with you.
Ooh, love it. Yes. Cherry picking them highs. I love it. By the way, gold is showing a little bit of signs of weakness as we come into this. We got what, 13 minutes till we get to the press conference.
Yeah.
So, and I have to say the lack of upside momentum in the SPOOs is really concerning to me. Yeah,
but I think you said it before, Blake, before you came out. And you and Jim were both talking about this. What could they have possibly done that would have really lit a fire under stocks? Because if anything that possibly would have done that, even if it was a rate cut, would have freaked out the bond market. And so it looks like stocks are really taking their cue right now from bonds, but can that switch if the earnings provide something? I don't know. I mean, maybe the question is what possibly could be in the earnings that would be enough, right, Jim?
Yeah, the M&Ms and the double A's today, tomorrow, they are gonna probably be more important on equity prices than this was.
Ooh, the M&Ms and double A's, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, Jim.
Ooh, look at you, all hipped with that, coming out of the gate with that. I like it.
This is what happens when Jim goes and swashes around with the seen and being seen at Formula One in Vegas, this is what happens. Like, he's the coolest guy ever now.
Well, it was a
Leaving us
single,
in
mar-
his
it was a
dust.
single martini lunch, so I kind of, I'm thinking.
That's greatness. That is greatness. Like I said, everything is pretty quiet at the moment. I am just surprised. I mean, Maggie, I know I just said this and say it again. It's just the equity market, like the lack of upside follow through here. And maybe it was that one call buyer, and he's like, "Oh shit, now I got to get out of everything, Trace."
Perhaps, who knows? Maybe he's expecting something else. I mean, I don't think, just because you buy an $8,200 call does not mean you actually need the market to go there. But perhaps they were betting on a much bigger the move than we have. We still have the presser, so who knows? We could, we've got a lot of earnings still to go through. So by September, the guys still got 2 more months on those. So we'll see.
But by the way, 10-year yields are starting to inch up, and what I see on in the currency market is reflecting that. Like all the yield sensitive currencies that I tend to pay attention to, like the 6J is the yen. It's starting to sell off a little bit after its quick bump up. Swiss franc, which is the 6S for those of you that trade futures, that's starting to show a little bit of weakness here. So they're very much following like 10-year yields at the moment, which is still messy. Just so
one of the things that does happen though, a lot of times when you have these events with these really big wicks, either up at the top, or down at the bottom, or both, once a direction is set, those are good targets sometimes. It doesn't always work that way, but I always look for these big wick targets after the dust settles a little bit and the market figures out a direction.
Yeah. Yes. And I want to say, Tracy, congratulations on the 6E. Should close that down and go have a good lunch. Just kidding.
I am in the green very slightly, but still.
Yeah,
we'll take it.
We all are. We'll find out. We'll find out what happens in the next 9 minutes from now.
Yeah, some people are joking. How is he going to fill 45 minutes of press conference when he doesn't want to talk about anything?
He doesn't have to.
Yeah,
the press conference doesn't have a set time. There is no set time. It's just Jay Powell. Jay Powell had some of the longest pressers ever. And again, some younger traders all they know is Powell. And so the presser is not a set time by any stretch of the imagination. It could be as long as or as short as the Fed chair decides it to be.
Actually, I want to say Janet Yellen's were the longest, maybe just because she talked so slowly. She was very thoughtful about how she spoke. So I was like,
when I started in the bond pit, it was Paul Volcker, and there was no such thing as it was like, oh, we just hiked 150 basis points, and then the bond pit turned into a mosh pit. It was like you had no notice of anything.
Yeah. So that brings up a really good question, though, is if we are moving into that environment, because we know that his communication preference is less is more. Does that increase volatility? Does everyone adjust? Because it's happening in a period where, as you say, no one's had to operate in that. Everything's been telegraphed. So are these going to be more volatile around this? Does it change? Is the bond market itself going to be more volatile now?
100,000%. This is what we as traders, everybody that's watching NinjaTrader Live right now should be thanking God that we've got Kevin Warsh in the driver's seat, because we are going to get massive amounts of volatility around every FOMC event, or pretty much every one of them, I would think. So this is amazing. This is going to be the best trading environment ever. Yeah. So you guys all listening in at home, your home offices, this is the best place to be.
Yeah, it'll magnify like CPI, PPI, and all these other measures we look at now. Now they come in more in focus because that's the only data we got.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
So what's the NASDAQ looking like as we head into and equities in general as we head into tech earnings? We've got to get through the press conference first, but tech earnings. We've got to get through the press conference first, but presuming he doesn't say anything that gives anyone anything to hang on to, what's the setup into the tech earnings after the close?
Equities, the mini S&P and NASDAQ, they're kind of settling back down a little bit after that initial rush up, but we're about halfway back to where we started from on the downside.
Yeah, and I'll say that if you look like Meta, like the stock, we're like in the middle of a range right now. So it's like we're in the middle of this big ass triangle, and it looks like we're going to trade either side of it post earnings because of the implied volatility of that stock. So I think everybody's just kind of sidelined right now, waiting for it. And Jim, just to add on what you were saying about the Nasdaq, it has performed better than the other indices. I mean, it is outperforming the S&P and the Dow and whatnot. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think it'll be interesting because we just had SK Hynix last night, and their numbers were incredible, but they didn't meet investor expectation, and the stock tanked 15%. It ended up settling 9.6% down, but still 15% on wildly good numbers, just not up to expectation. I worry about Meta because I worry about their capital expenditure, and I worry about their balance sheet. I think people are going to be very worried about that because they used to have a ton of free cash flow, and now they don't.
Yeah, free cash flow. Talking about that with tech earnings. It's amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic conversation. A lot we got through and a lot to go. Thanks so much, panel and me. We're all going to hand it off to Jim for the Edge Report.
Thanks, Maggie. Thanks, Blake. And thanks, Tracy. Got to say thanks to everybody. All right, so let's take a look at the E-mini S&P and the bonds before we get to the main event, trading the close. This is a 10-minute candle chart up here. I have two volume profiles. I have the session volume profile on the left. I have the regular trading hour volume profiles on the right. And obviously, they're very similar. There's no top part since we started this after the sell-off happened when the bell rang this morning, and we made some new milestones to the downside. Then we kind of had a relatively amazing recovery all the way back to VWAP and then some, but then we gave it up. We couldn't hold it, right? The initial reaction to the Fed announcement was one thing, and then, well, what happened? Sellers are back involved now. We're underneath VWAP now. Again, we just closed there 10 minutes ago, the last 10-minute candle, and right now we're just kind of flirting with it right now, right around that JAX 2 level. So again, this is looking heavy again. This retracement back up. I don't have a fib line up here now, but I'm going to eyeball it at about 50% from the body of the candle, which is, short of a bullish turnaround. So we'll keep an eye on this volume profile for sure. We have a lot of meat. I'm going to call it a lot of meat, a lot of volume between 74.13 all the way down to the below that 0DT put support, the put support level, not 0DT. We'll talk about that in a second. 73.96. Jim, slow down. But this put support level, we talked about it this morning. It's pretty close to where the point of control is right now. It's that 7,400 level. You can call it psychological if you want, but it's a real deal right now in the futures market. And that's right now is kind of beckoning to me, saying, "Hey, Jim, look at me. I'm here." So, and it's justified with all of the price happiness that we have in the meat of the value area as a potential target on the downside. Now, if there is a press conference, and depending on what happens, there's going to be a lot of ebbs and flows in between. I'm going to keep my hands in my pocket and wait until after that's all that dust settles, and then go from there. So E-mini S&P, that's the story of those guys. Treasury bonds, though, are a little bit more worrying right now. Let me pop up an intraday chart just for some perspective here. We finally kind of flushed out. We sold out to the bottom. We hit that put support, that high vol level, which is a nice, powerful combination, along with the 0DTEs at 111 even. We survived that. We tapped it. We survived it. We're up about 5 ticks right now. I know we're not out of the woods yet on this, and the points of control are way up north right here. So this is what the market is thinking about after these cuts that we just had. The pivots on the bond market are important. S1 is another important level. You can see we had a lot of congestion there at 110.09. And then above that, if we can get above VWAP again, which I don't know, is that 0DTE call resistance level at 110 and 16:30 seconds. And let's just take a look at a daily chart on this thing while we're at it. Today's daily candle, I mean, you can call this a Dan Graham's an equal and opposite candle. The body of the candle is about the same size right now than yesterday's candle, but it's the opposite direction. It's the opposite color. That's why he calls it an equal and opposite right now. And this is a bearish thing. If it holds like this, if we close like this or worse, then it could be a bearish indicator for tomorrow. And then what's the downside here? Well, we have previous week's low at 109. 109.08. 109.15, in my book is an important level, but 109.08 is an important level. And why am I talking about bonds so much? This could really drag things out, right? Really drag things down with it. Remember, this is inverse to yield. So eventually there's a point where these are attractive enough to investors where they want to get involved again, but there's a lot of potential on the downside here, and it could drag everything down with it. So I'm a little bit worried about that as we speak. Let's shoot over the last couple seconds here. Let's just go ahead and take a look at gold. We did catch a nice real bid here. I haven't looked at this since the number. We're still range bound though. We talked about this morning on the morning gap. We're pretty, we've overcome yesterday's sell-off so far. Where previous week's close right now, 41.29.7. Pretty close to that anyway. And we'll see. We have equal distance shadows, though, on the top of this candle, on the top and the bottom, which means, well, anything could happen. Intraday, though, we have a really nice jump up on the news. We'll see if the presser, if it maintains this kind of bullish attitude. And there's that target wick I'm talking about, this 41.49.2. I'm not saying we're going to get there, but what I'm saying is keep your eye on it, because if this turns around back north again, that's a pretty nice target. It's right above previous session's highs and right above that one-day max right now. And the retracement back down, to be honest with you, is kind of, at this point, it's a little lackluster, to be honest with you. So it might be a little bullish here as well. We'll take a look after the presser. That's this afternoon's Edge Report. Let's get to our main event. Trade the close. Look at these very colorful people today. Wow. We got Jack Green. I don't even know what to make of this, man. I don't know.
It's like wearing both teams' colors, Jim.
Well, and Tanya's all bright, and someone's got the pink logo in the back. You guys are standing out today.
It's supposed to be purple, Jim. Why you gotta ruin my day like that?
Is it purple or pink?
It's supposed to be purple.
Tanya, once you get over 50, you get colorblind. Salma.
Yeah. No, but he's not the only person to say it was pink, so I don't think he's colorblind. I think they just sent me the wrong freaking color.
You come off as a pink girly. What are you going to say?
No, my colors are purple and gold.
All right, Salma, it looks fabulous. I don't care what anyone thinks it is. It looks fabulous. You do. All three of you look fabulous. That's all I could say.
Thanks, Jim.
Oh, in any event, well, let's go around the horn and see what everyone's thinking. Who wants to go first? Jack?
I mean, sure. I don't know if anybody else has got something on, but I'll go over. Really, I mentioned in the chat, I was typing in, I'll go full screen with this ES. And my trade plan today, so, this is a day that I knew was going to be whippy. And so I drew up some bigger levels that I had, and I was like, I'm going to let the price action confirm it. I'm going to let my indicators do some confirmation for me. And that's exactly what I did. I freaking nailed this low. And my plan was to hold it. I had $500 of risk on this trade. And I figured if I got some movement up before FOMC, because my entry was, what time was that? That was right around 1240 New York. But this ATR barcode I have, so this yellow bar means that the range has expanded. So we swept out, yesterday's low, overnight low. We're drowning lower, and I was just waiting for some bottoming confirmation here, and we got that with this candle as we expanded range up. I bought the first 50% retracement pullback. I'm kind of swinging for the fences on this. We did trade up to this blue line, which is the midpoint of the prior day, and so far that has been the resistance. And who knows? I mean, this press conference could totally wipe me out on this position. I'm about to get stopped out on my gold trade that I had taken. There goes my stop. But if what I'm looking for is if we can push up through here, maybe get up to 7,500, but that might not happen today. I definitely want to see that FOMC low hold. If that low does not hold, I don't necessarily believe we're going to start crashing, but I think the rest of the day will probably be pretty aggressive two sides. So what I'm going to do for the remainder of the day is really just rely on what I call my ATR, my trend bars, to determine what the market's doing. Not focus so much on price levels because it's more price action on a day like today. I mean, I can have my price levels, but we all know they slice through on days like today. So I'm waiting for price action, probably give it a 30 more minutes post conference or 20 minutes at least before I get my next entry. But ideally, I want to see a move back up to the middle point of the day, up to the 7,500 level, but that might be a stretch for today. So that's what I got on right now, and I'll be taking new positions 25 minutes after he stops talking.
Wow. All right. Awesome, Jack. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm watching gold. Like, he's doing the exact opposite of what I just said it might do. But I would keep an eye on VWAPs too, everybody, and then first upper standard deviation band or lower standard deviation band and VWAPs for the rest of the afternoon. Tanya, what are you thinking?
What's up? Yeah, this morning was actually cleaner than I was expected. Um, for the morning of FOMC, so I actually got some shorts this morning, and it looks like the rest of the day is retraced into this last swing leg lower. And I like these wicks, this last hourly wick that's forming right now. So I think that maybe 3 p.m. could be a good trade, like from maybe lower, honestly, as long as like we keep this wick here. So I think in the next like 20 minutes, I'll be able to know whether that's a nice rejection, and then I'll probably try for some fall through to the downside. I'm not going to flip bullish unless we get past back up like 28,000 for the NASDAQ. I'm just going to keep one-sided bearish, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel the same way. I think at this point, especially I'm tracking the E-mini S&P. We're already back down to that 7,400 level is key for me, and we're at 43.22 now and falling. So anyway, thank you, Tanya. Selma, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I've got a short on the Russell here. I saw that this purple box here that I have was this was previous demand for me, and today we finally broke down and invalidated it on the hourly. And so once that happens, I like to turn those zones into flip zones. So it just basically means that it could be
That's
why do
my
I hear
fault.
myself?
Sorry.
So when it's a flip zone, it could basically be resistance or support depending on where price is at the time. So I saw that, the initial reaction for FOMC at 2 p.m. pushed us higher, and then, sellers stepped in, and I ended up taking a short. I do anticipate for this zone to be respected as resistance, and I am targeting new lows. Essentially, I'd like to see 29.10 on the Russell. That's been my target all day. And of course, earlier we came 3 points to sweeping it, and then we end up doing a little bit of a Uno reverse back to the upside. So we'll see if whatever he says can dump us to new lows.
That's a great trade. I love that trade, Selma. I'm
Thanks,
I'm
Jim. Appreciate
100%
it.
rooting for you here, man. I know. I hope I didn't
Appreciate
jinx
that.
you. I hope I didn't jinx you, but I love. I
Nah,
like
it's
it.
okay if you did. It's all good. I'm positioned in. I'm pretty confident on this position, and if it does come back, then it is what it is. I eat a 10-point stop loss, so no biggie.
Yeah. Put support now is at 29.25 in the futures. So
29.25.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Keep an eye
Look.
on that. See what we do.
All right. Before I dip, one last announcement. I do want to remind everybody that at 4 p.m. when the bell rings, I know there's a lot of stuff going on after markets with the M&Ms releasing their data today, but we do have a special Discord event, live Q&A, Anthony Crudele, Brent Simba. Get in there, get your questions in there. It's going to be a great conversation. These two are fantastic. There'll be a link in the chat if you don't already have that for the Discord channel itself. I'm going to be in there. It'll be super awesome. So hopefully we can see you after the bell. All right. Having said all that, I want to wish the Partridge family the best of all possible trades for the rest of the day. And I like the cheery colors. Good luck, you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Here, Jim.
The
Hello.
Partridge family.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
I think it's purple, Salma.
Thank you, but no, it does look pink. Like if I shut it off, it's purple. The words are purple.
Is it from Timu?
No. Oh my God, no. No. The amount I spent on this, it should be like it should have been the right color, but whatever.
Getting that
It is what
pump.
it is.
Getting that pump. I want to see CL pull back. It's been consolidating for a bit. Oops. And I want to see it pull back to like 83, 80, 83, 90, 84 area. I want it to sweep this low and buy. That's kind of like my safe trade where it's not going to be too impacted by this press conference. It's been trending nicely up all day long. push highs here. I do got a limit below in the NASDAQ. Does not look like it's going to be trading here at this point in time. If we do pop new highs, I might get a little more aggressive with it once he's done speaking. Kind of want to put him on in the background, hear him talk. Or somebody just keep me posted with when he's done.
Or you can pull up Financial Juice and wait until they say he has ended remarks.
Ron for the throne. Let's do it, dude. I mean, I don't think, I definitely think we can get it. I don't think there's a reason we can't. If it doesn't happen today, I do think it'll happen tomorrow. As long as these lows hold us in. There's a lot that needs to go on here, but gold's breaking back to the upside after dipping with the rest of the risk on assets. New high here coming up for the NASDAQ. So you just had an average true range expansion. These little signals that I just got printed on my screen are basically what I look for on days like today. You'll see NQ bull, ES, ATR bull, MNQ, MES. So both the NQ and the ES are printing what I consider to be bullish signals, which makes me want to re-engage. I'm already got long orders in these because we had printed them earlier. So that kind of helps me with my bias. It's just automated bias management. Outside of just price action, you can look at price action for bias, or I've kind of automated some of the price action I look for. But one of those signals here is this last bar as you see it turn yellow, which once again, I mentioned it yesterday. This is a free indicator I offer on NinjaTrader. It is a 5-minute average true range expansion. And you saw one on the no cut on the change. And of course, you're going to see one almost every time that number is released, because you're just going to instantly increase in volatility. But, as he gets on the mic within that first 5 minutes, that bar turning yellow, that is a 150% of the average back to the upside. So that makes me feel comfortable in this long position. And realistically, I can start moving my stop up and manage on that, because we should not retrace that. And if we do, then it's just going to get crazy.
Okay, it looks like they want to take me out of this.
Jim, you can blame him for that one.
As soon as he said, I'm going to jinx you.
He said, I'm not going to jinx you.
Well, he did. It's all good, Jim.
Yeah, no, it's all right. So also, once again, just if you take a look at my charts, these blue lines, that's the middle of the prior day. So I start thinking of, okay, if we start seeing acceptance above the middle of the prior day, some of my thought process here, if there was, whatever the number, 35% of the people thought there was a chance based on the Fed rate hike tool, which is abnormal. We haven't seen that in a very long time. They were wrong. So 33% of the market is technically wrong. And if we start getting acceptance above the midpoint of the prior day, that makes me think there's a better chance of a continuation. We did come up to those levels, saw resistance. We're still there. We're not through them yet. But, I will look for a 25-minute hold above that to really gain confidence for a next leg higher. But I still think these could act as resistance levels right now.
Makes sense. I do the same thing with the midpoint of the previous day.
Yeah. It's just a great
good level.
Yeah. Where are we? Half to yesterday divided by 2. That's really all it is. Simple math. Or as MGI, I guess, is what they market generated information is what Nick often refers to it as. But yeah, the other limit that you guys can't see that's off my screen that I have is 83.97 in CL. And if we can break the most recent low, I believe I will get filled on that before this session is over. I wore a green hat and a red shirt just just in case we went down or up, one team's winning. Gold pushing back up here as well. So this is the second bar of this rally right now. We'll see if it lasts 25 minutes or not. That would take us out 25 minutes from that first bar. That first bar up is at 240. So that takes me into 305.
All right, they took me out of this trade. They're about to.
Do I enter positions over lunch? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Sometimes, I mean, if it's a slower day, no, but on a day like today, I personally thought that the entry was going to be before FOMC as opposed to into it because, before the event, you have a lower volatility market where I could have used a tight stop. So when I actually took this trade around 1240, the average to range of the S&P 500 was probably around like 7, I believe. So I only risked $500 on this trade. So I'm sitting on a 10-hour trade right now, which is pretty rare intraday for me. I mean, it's pretty hard to get a 10-hour trade intraday. But days like this give that opportunity. And, had you been entering a position on FOMC, I mean, that bar on FOMC on the no rate change, let's see how big that was in the S&P. That was a 33-point bar. So, my stop would go bigger on a 33-point bar because the range is bigger. And because my stop would be bigger, then my size would have to be smaller to have the appropriate risk. So I wouldn't be entering in, 13 micros, which is what I have on right now.
That's a big pump.
Yep. All
right, got Russell some more. Back at weekly open.
Russell, copper, silver, all printed bullish signals for me there. And I'm not trading copper here today. I did know Tracy had mentioned that it had completely reversed a previous day's losses. Man, that was a big move in copper on that. Here's that new high. All righty. If my 25-minute theory holds true, like I said, this rally will last into 305. So we will see.
Thank you. About to make new highs. Or did it? Oh, it did. Sheesh.
I would say the low of the week is probably in. Unless there's some horrible earnings. That is the only thing that would reverse this move.
You think the low of the week is in?
Yeah, I mean, being that this is the most impactful news events of the week, and that, I always think like if this is what everybody's waiting for, and there was a true disagreement, if there wasn't a disagreement, if they thought like 90% were like 95% weren't going to cut, then the market would already have that priced in. But because that wasn't priced in, and now it's getting priced in, what is it going to take to reverse that? I mean, it would take a lot. And we'll see how far we go here. But like I said, my targets are up at basically 7,500, and it's looking more and more possible with every minute that goes by. Do I ever take partials? Yeah. I mostly take partials. I run 2 strategies. One of them is a 3-target strategy, and the other is an all-in, all-out. But, this is one of those trades that, in my opinion, there's no reason to take partials unless you're just like really being protective about it, because it's either going to work. And if it works, it's going to work really, really well, or it's not going to work. So that was my thought process going into this trade, that if it is going to work, I don't want to take partials because we could close the day on highs. Like my bet was, it was a technical trade. But the entry was technical, but then there's more theory behind this trade that I'm taking. It's just that, if they do no rate cut, 30% of the market is offsides technically, and they're going to continue the price action in the direction higher. So I'm not taking partials.
I totally get that, especially if it's like a volatile news event.
Yeah.
So it could really go in your favor. Like you'd be cutting your profits too early. You got to let the winners run, especially if you're catching near the low of the week, then that's a really good opportunity.
Totally. And I mean, we're not even at highs of the overnight session. So, you got to think about what we were at overnight. Overnight highs are 7,500. So it's not that big of a stretch for us to get back to where we were, last night at 8:00 or whatever time it was.
Oh, yeah.
Someone in chat just called you a monster.
Roar.
He's Cookie Monster.
I do love my cookies.
Me like cookie. Warsh said if inflation stays high, rates could be part of the solution. Okay.
Yeah. And then the other thing to think about is like I was thinking like part of this trade was, okay, like Warsh was put in, he was pre-screened by Trump. Like the expectation of Trump is absolutely like no rate cuts or no rate hikes. He definitely wants rate cuts. So, I thought those odds of the cut were just really high. Citadel, was making comments, I guess, that they thought there was going to be a hike. So Citadel's on the wrong side of this one. It's kind of good when you see like Citadel on the wrong side and you're on the right side. You're like, what do you know about markets? No, they know a lot more than I know, but.
Or they just say stuff to trap people. Maybe.
McDog, it's a direct link. The production has it. They can drop that. The guys still got it from yesterday, but it's a direct link to download it. I'll just send you. It sends an email. Yes. Well, they take thousands of trades a day, so it depends on what portfolio. I'm sure they're just hedged.
Yeah, today I used the NinjaTrader manual lockout feature for my accounts, for my Lucid accounts. So that was good because this morning I got a pretty big trade in on shorts. And so now like I can now I don't need to even worry about giving back any money on those accounts or anything. I can just trade on my other accounts. So I feel good about that. Salma, you said you've been using that feature too, right?
Yeah, I prefer to use it on like Fridays. If I'm green Thursday night from Asia, I'll just lock out so I don't trade that Friday.
I'm gonna get aggressive here with the NASDAQ.
You could also like lock it out per account, so that's a nice new feature.
Yeah, it's really nice. You can just do whichever account you want. I locked out all of them, but yeah, if you trade one account at a time, then you made that money for that day, just lock it in and trade your other accounts, and you don't have to worry about either getting angry because losing on the other account and then taking a trade on the account that you made profit at, or even an accidental click. So it's really a good feature, honestly.
Yeah, I like it.
Good. There's no need for discipline if you just have a button. This button fixes it.
Takes discipline to hit the button, though. But yeah.
Yeah, but hopefully, like at that point, you don't need it.
Yeah, right. Past the point of hitting the button, you get to remove all the thought process of doing something that you don't want to do. But yeah, exactly. Just McDog, my indicator. Anybody else who wants it, that's the yellow bar indicator. It also gives you this thing here on the top of your screen, which tells you what the risk is based on the average 2 range per contract that you're trading, dollar amount, value. So you're not taking yourself, when you're in high volatile markets like we are currently, and we're running 128 points in the MNQ, and you're used to trading a 3 lot, you probably got to drop it down to 1 if you want to stay within, relative volatility risk limits. Yep, everything metals, it's a risk on response. It's pretty clear here. New highs in gold, and we got an hour left of this show, ladies and gentlemen.
Totally.
Robin says, I need that button to stop me from calling my ex.
Oh my God.
Hopefully you don't have her number memorized. You could just delete it. That usually helps.
Bro.
Bruh.
That is crazy.
Oh, my friend just texted me. He got accepted to HGTV House Hunters.
What?
Yeah, so fun. His episode's gonna be great.
Those people that are on there are always like have the weirdest jobs. It's like, oh, I paint butterflies for a living, or I make jewelry for penguins. And they're like, their budget's like $2 million.
What do I look for? Game update. What do I look for to exit your trade in advance of your TP? So one of the things I mentioned is like, so in this specific case, I like to measure the market in time segments. So I move my stop based on that. So I said when we started this rally that I'm going to let it run for 25 minutes because I think it's, you got to give the market time. My price levels are kind of irrelevant at this point in time. I'm just aiming for highs of the day, which I don't think is a stretch of the imagination. I think if you look about the price action here today and how strong this move's been on the bottom for us to take out overnight high before getting a deeper pullback is not, too much to ask for. But when we have 25 minutes of data, then I'll start looking at the price action of that data and move my stop based on that time, that structure that the market's made, as opposed to just trying to figure out what's going on every 5 minutes with every tick, because I don't really think I have an advantage to do that. So yeah, I talked about it. I developed my edge segment. I have a little timer on my desk. I also actually have a code in my computer that shows me how long I've been in the trade. I can tell you exactly how long I've been in this trade to the second. I've been in this trade for 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 17 seconds. So I always keep track of how long I'm in a trade. And if it's not moving my way within 25 minutes, I'm reducing my risk in some fashion. But this trade instantly moved my way. My trade entry was down here, and 25 minutes later, we were up here where my mouse is. And then I can basically move my stop to break even and let it play out. I'm about to get an entry. This is a pretty aggressive bid here that I got in the NASDAQ for a continuation. So we'll see what happens as I come down into this fill here. It's at 17.5 is my order.
How long do we think he's going to be talking for?
Typically Powell talks for 30 minutes.
So we think like what, 3 o'clock? Let's see. It doesn't seem like he's ending anytime soon.
This long is no more risky than any other trade I take. The risk is automatically calculated and the event has already happened.
Plus you're in like such good amount of profit that where's the risk?
There's going to be $500 of risk on this trade when it gets entered, which is the only amount of, that's all this trade that I'm up, like I said, I'm up 11 R now. I had $500 of risk on. So, that's within my risk limits. I'm not going to be greedy. Normally, if I'm up 10 R on a day, I will typically double my risk size. So I would typically double my risk from 500 to 1,000. But I'm not going to do that here because there is increased volatility and he is still on the microphone.
He's still talking, yeah.
I have no idea anything he said outside of what Tracy has commented in this room. I am not listening to him.
Well, it looks like also Trump's going to make an announcement pretty soon. Just saw the link for that.
Thank you, Paulo. I don't know how short was. I think the last presser didn't even exist, right? He didn't even say anything, or Blake was saying before we got on that if he doesn't say anything, it might unwind this move higher. And well, so far he is saying something. There's a couple more of these indicators that I have firing off: NQ, Russell, YM. That's telling me all of those markets are moving up. 6A. MNK, which is the Japanese market.
I saw like the South Korean market's down like 40% in the last month.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Also, like apparently, like I forgot what percent of the adult population got margin called, but it was like 10%.
Oh yeah, I remember
entire
seeing
country.
that.
It might have been more than that.
It was
So
like
it's like
30% of like adults or something.
That's
like,
absurd. That's absurd. Like what? First of all, that many people in the country are actually trading, but that goes to
oh
show
yeah,
you.
trading is huge in South Korea.
Yeah, I had no idea. They do love their video games, so why not trade? I always say trading is just video games with money.
There's professional video gamers for sure.
Yeah, I met a kid over the weekend at a WAP meetup that sells picks for online video game, like through like Kalshi. I didn't know that there was like betting on online video games.
What?
Like, yeah, did you know that this existed? Like, it's beyond.
No.
Yeah,
I was like, I guess you can bet on anything these days.
Right? He's like, you can like how many snipes. I don't play video games, but he knew enough. Didn't quite get down. Y'all front running me on this order. How close do we get to that freaking order I just had? Really, really close. I don't know. Not close enough. I think we traded on the low there, 5 points away from my entry. Robin, you need a therapist, my guy, or a new girlfriend. Usually helps.
Oh boy.
Sorry to hear that. If you need somebody to talk to, you always got the chat. It just keeps getting worse for you, buddy. Come back down and fill me. My orders moved up here now a couple points as the market's made a new high.
We just tapped into my other flip zone on the Russell here.
Yeah, and here comes the 305. So I will start moving my stop up here. I mean, literally 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar, 5th bar red, like clockwork.
What time frame? 5?
Yep, 5.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know why. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. It just does. I don't know why.
Take a shot every time he says why.
I'll be hammered.
I don't know why. 25 is my favorite number.
It's a good number. Pomodoro method.
It's 5 times 5. My number, my jersey number. Yeah, it was good timing. Look at that drop.
Yeah, beautiful
Our
rejection.
Nasdaq's like 100 points lower.
Yep. Standard vol right there. This will be my lower level of support right here.
No, Trump's also speaking, guys. He just started.
Uh-oh. So they're gonna moon it.
He's making an announcement with the transportation
dump it.
secretary. So
Oh.
I don't know if he'll say anything that will move us, but just something to be aware of.
We need more roads.
Fed Watch is still speaking too.
No, we got the double duty.
He said duty.
Bro.
Is duty a funny word? Is this some Gen X stuff I don't know about?
Gen X? You got the wrong gen.
I know you're not Gen X, but I'm just saying you're on YouTube enough to know the lingo. I feel like you got them Gen X homies. I don't even know what the gens are. I just know I'm a millennial.
My mom's Gen X. My dad, no. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, then Y? What is it? Y? I'm getting the letters mixed up. X, Y.
No. Yo, he got the wrong gen twice. It's Gen Z.
Okay, I'll give up. I give up. Gen Z. Here's the 50% retracement right here from back on that midpoint.
You're Gen Y.
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Put that on my job application or my resume.
Wow, what a drop.
Still want to see my CL come down. That thing might fill 83.97. Five points away from getting taken out on my ES. And then I would say we could probably go back to where we started on the press conference, honestly. if we don't hold here, go back to the beginning of that rally. That'd be my next thing I'd look for.
Vintage trader. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tanya.
You would look for shorts?
I don't know if I'd look for shorts. If we bounce
I mean, like
before
you would
getting
buy
down.
from where we started?
Yeah. So like I'm taking out on that. So like if we go straight down to that, it's just going to depend on how this tape plays out. Like once again, I'll watch what we do. Like, because we went up for 25 minutes. If we sell off for 25 minutes, I will look for a short, but we need to get back below like where he started speaking.
Yeah.
And you know, or we could, you know, basically just come back into like this like 74.20 in the ES to 74.10s, or like 27,700 to 27,600 to really be just kind of that middle of the day. But yeah, if we can't continue from here, then we're going probably back to that spot.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted shorts, but this thing it's already dropped what? Almost 20 points on the Russell. More than it's been 40 points on ES. I don't think I want to short this anymore. What's crazy? We hit the zone and the selling pressure stepped in.
Yeah, it's 74.12s, like a sweep of that low. That's going to be like the only thing area I'd long. 74.12, 74.20 to 74.10 is where I'd look.
It's tough too because like is this a retest for longs, or is this actually going to sell off? It's a little bit too tough for me to even have a read on this right now. I've got to see what we do here at this zone.
I still think the next best trade I'll bring it into view is going to be oil here, because it's going to be, oil's been uptrending nice, and I just need to see a sweep of some of these lows and then an instant bid. So that's kind of my next trade right there. Let me look at my scanner. Yeah, Russell I have is trending the most here today to the upside, full day. Just look at that. Yeah, Russell kind of holding up a little better on the last pullback relative to its range. So if we do start bidding, oil's getting that breakdown here I'm looking for. You can see CL here on this scanner trending 72% of the day to the upside. It's really the only market that's like been trending the majority of the day. The rest of these markets kind of just started post going into the FOMC. All right, what are we closing? Are we closing green or are we closing red on the day? I think we're down. We're almost flat on the NASDAQ. ES down a
It's
third
pretty
of a percent.
crazy. Yeah, we had some huge moves today, and all in all, we're flat on the NASDAQ.
Right. All that for nothing, you know?
But yeah, there are plenty of ways to make money today, so I won't complain.
Yeah, I always say it's like when you check your portfolio at the end of the day and it's just like, oh, I'm even on the day. Like in the meantime, like we were up, you know, down 1%, up 1%. Yeah, no change.
Pat, what do you think? Will NASDAQ end red or green today? Let's put a poll up.
Wow, they ended up buying this back up. My, oh my.
I don't necessarily think this rally is over, but
Sophia is crazy. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I honestly wanted that earlier weakness to continue, like that. I want 2 p.m. to be the high for me to short. So I don't really trust that we're not going to continue up higher. I think we'll probably end a green today.
yeah, I'll tell you what, I do want
This could be just a deeper tracement inside of this leg.
I'm gonna set up a trade.
Probably is. Yeah.
Outlook very bad.
Ovation, you think it'll be green 0.13%. Wow.
Is he still speaking? Hold on.
Wow. I'm just like looking at that and like I didn't realize how much we act. Wow. But like right now from the 230 low is still 200 points away. So, wow.
Yeah, we just came about 50% retracement from the spike low of
That was a 400 point spike. That was a 400 point push up during those
Bro,
25.
he's still speaking.
Worse.
Yep. And so's Trump. They're both talking.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna pump or dump. Pump or dump. Okay, Fed's just ended his press conference 10 seconds ago.
What does it want to do? I just put a limit at 40 quarter in the ES. It's a 50% retracement from the decision of the cut or the no cut. I keep wanting to say cut. But yeah, because volatility is now obviously higher than it was at 1240, my size is lower.
You looking to get into anything else, Jack?
I got a limit in gold at 41, 41.6 and a limit in CL at 83.97. It's the only orders I got out there right now.
Okay, cool.
I do think CL is probably like out of those three ideas, I like CL the best just because it's been trending the most of the day. It's least impacted, I think, by this decision. But then again, we do have a speaker who
Well, Fed's stopped speaking. I think Trump is still speaking. Said that he praised NVIDIA.
welcome back. Gold's still holding up here pretty well. It's only 13 points off the high. Here comes CL taking out those recent lows. This will be 25 minutes down here at the end of the bar.
Wow. The clockwork.
Yeah. This is where, like, if I have a support level after either 25 minutes of selling or 25 minutes of rally, I'm like, okay, like I feel a little more trusting in it because, like, there's been enough time that's existed. But bar closes in what? I don't know, 30 seconds or so.
I was waiting for someone to say that. Trader dude.
Not in Chicago. They stay open a lot later than that. Probably New York too. You guys got some 5 a.m.ers over there.
I have no idea. Probably.
Yeah, I've never been. Couldn't tell you. The box. You ever been to the box?
I've heard bad things about the box. No, I haven't been. I have no people who've been. That's good enough for me.
I have no people who've been.
It's not my kind of scene. That's your kind of scene, I think.
I haven't been there, but I know a girl who used to work there pre-COVID.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's actually on God, what's that TV show now? It's Summer House. I don't know if you guys watch that. Salma,
No,
I feel like you might watch Summer House.
No, never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah, let me see what it is. Hold on.
It's for the reality TV girlies.
No, so I don't even watch. I wouldn't even say I like reality TV other than Love Island UK. That's the only thing. But like
Why
other
UK?
Oh my God, because they have class. US is so disgusting. Yeah, you couldn't pay me to watch US. It's just straight up like
Wow.
no.
UK has class. Okay.
Yes, they go on there for like actual like
Love?
connections and love. Yeah. No, I'm not trying to watch people just do disgusting stuff. Anyway.
I watched one season of Love Island US and yeah, it was
Do yourself a favor, watch
the
UK. You're gonna
challenges
see
were no good.
you'll see a massive difference. But yeah, no, US is just pure disgustingness.
Here comes that 74.12 that I was looking at. CL came a few ticks away from entry, and I don't know what was said there, but we got a pretty big bar.
Trump is speaking.
There we go.
Shy girl in all caps.
Guys, I tagged Tracy. I said, make it stop. Please make it stop.
We'll hit them hard. It's our turn to. Trump on Iran, briefed on the Egypt incident.
Bro, enough.
Dude, if we go take out the lows, though, that's crazy. Now it's the shorts, sir.
Well, no, I would be pissed because I was.
You're a little too early. It's okay.
Whatever, man. Just gotta sit here and hate watch this.
Move. Let's see what happens if we can sweep the rate cut or the rate no change low, the 2 o'clock low. I'm just gonna refer to it as a time because I can't get my words right.
Yeah, we're below where he started speaking now.
Sweeping, just sweeping.
Buckle your seatbelts. Yeah, he was supposed to be talking about the Department of Transportation, right? Okay.
Why did Trump have to start talking right before my limit?
We'll see if we get there on the Iran deal. He said Iran is asking us not to hit them. We'll see if we get there on the Iran deal.
We came
What's up,
5 ticks
Thomas?
away. 5 ticks away from my CL limit, and then just a blaster for 70 cents.
So this means you're going to be hate watching with me?
Yeah, hate watching CL, that's for sure. I said this
Let's
yesterday,
go.
but when we come close to my limits and then go without me, it's usually like a pretty good indication of the direction. There'll be another opportunity to get in. There always is. I do feel I am going to cancel my gold limit, though. I just like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how people have been trading gold for like the past,
It's not for the week.
because I've just looked at the daily on that range is crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of good It's kind of like the Nasdaq in a sense. Like, I mean,
Right.
everything's been range, but I mean, if you look at the Nasdaq, it's been down.
True.
But like,
Nasdaq's range bound.
yeah, like
Well, not in
with
the
this
last week, but yeah.
slightly bearish bias. But I mean, even look at today. Like, I mean, money made on both sides. I was short in the morning, long in FOMC, and now, I don't know what I'm going to do next in the indexes, but probably short based on this action. But I'm not going to short into this whole.
No, me neither. Vintage Trader, my TP for the Russell was 29.10, so we would need new lows.
This is a crazy 4-hour candle right now. It's like that wick is crazy.
That is disgusting.
Yeah. That is gross. What did chat say? Do you guys think that will close red or green today? So far, we went from like being plus 1%, like probably plus 0.3 or 4, and then we were even there for a good amount there when I first asked. Now we're dropping.
I'm canceling my goal.
GG Bulls, Dan.
All right, what are we gonna
Is
do
he done
here?
speaking? I haven't seen any new headline yet.
This is the type of action that is hard for me to trade on a 5-minute, and I got to go to a 1-minute.
He's still speaking.
I know where I want to sell, though, if we get up there. I don't know if we will. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get some shorts here in the ES. Short 15 quarter.
Wait, you shorted?
No, I got a limit at 15 quarter.
Oh, okay. Previous day low, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. Just this last area that we had. Just see some price act. That's last area of agreement I would consider. It's also 20 points off the low that we currently have, roughly.
This is wild.
I agree. Said it yesterday, bring your big boy pants on, or big girl pants on, because today's going to be crazy. And so far, it is not disappointing when it comes to that. It is.
So, Jack, do you think that low of the week is not in anymore?
I mean, hey, anything can happen.
I think we go lower tomorrow.
Right?
I think we're going to go for. It's kind of crazy that ES is not taking previous month low yet. I think we're heading towards that.
I mean, been trading long enough, you know, you're just like, there's nothing that's certain. Yeah, I just got to
Totally.
react.
Totally. Anything could happen. Someone can start speaking.
Someone could speak, bombs can drop, bad data, horrible earnings, who knows?
Wow, rate chief, you had 100K day? Sick.
Good job.
Game update got a $54 day. Good job.
A win's a win.
A win's a win. Green is green.
Keep those up. One day you'll be at 100. Half an hour to close.
Yep.
Do we take now? Now the question is, do we take lows?
Yeah, do we? It's totally possible, especially yes.
Yeah. I mean, watch us take highs now. I would be like, wow.
I don't know.
Another thing that you just never know. I'll tell you what, though, I got enough jolts in my veins to really want to go to the gym after this.
Oh yeah, after like seeing so much volatility, you definitely get like all this energy that you need to get out. Like there's, especially if you've been trading it,
Yeah.
you know,
Uh-huh.
get like restless energy.
For sure. Like the adrenaline's just pumping. You're like, I'm ready to go to war with the weights.
That's your going to war noise?
Pretty good.
What's your going to war noise?
Don't know. Don't have one. Not going to war.
Not going to war. Going to war with the weights.
Nope. Days like today, like they don't leave you guys mentally exhausted. Your brain doesn't hurt.
Leave me pumped up, Salma.
Yeah, no. I'm sitting here hate watching this thing.
I'm hate watching CL.
So 60% of you guys said that we will end red. We'll see. There's still 30 minutes left.
Yeah, how do you think OG Smitty, how do you think he makes 100K? He watches NT Live. Duh.
Yeah, what's wrong with making 100K and watching NT Live?
It's part of NT Live. I mean, I'm not saying we're taking credit.
Is 100K supposed to be like such a shitload of money that you can kind of go F off and never have to do anything with society and, you know, all that other good stuff?
No, but it's a pretty good day.
It's
in a day, yeah. I thought we were talking like, you know, in a day, okay, yes.
Like, oh my God, she's like,
Salma's over here just balling out.
No. Okay, listen, I just joined back. Okay, I didn't know it was in a day. Yeah, if you're making 100K in a day, kudos to you, dude.
Are you trying to tell him to turn off NinjaTrader Live?
No, just kudos.
That moment of silence was real there for a second. Yeah. I think we're probably going to continue dumping here.
I mean, you definitely can't screw off for the rest of your life, but you can maybe go to dinner.
Salma's lunch was 100K.
Bro. Wait, who made 100K? Where is that? Reg Jeff. I had 100K day. Damn, dude. All right, go touch grass.
Yeah, I would be done trading for the day. But then again,
maybe even the week.
So entertaining. That just goes to show the diversity of viewers we have here. We got guys that are learning, and we got guys that are earning big bucks, salaries. We call that a salary day.
Double or nothing. The DLY. This is why you are toxic, my friend.
Oil's just flying. I didn't even get a fill on that 15 quarter in the ES too. I'm going to continue to leave that order there though. It's going to move down. Oh wait, no, I actually need to adjust it. My thing is not moving. It should be moving. Oh no. Okay. It's moving now. It just moved. Bond reaction is extreme, mentions Jim. Yeah, I just pulled ZB up on another screen. We are going to go take out lows of last week here in ZB. There is an extreme, excuse me, got my hiccups.
That was funny.
Sound noises, is sound effects. Yeah, ZB is crashing right now. I'm glad I pulled my gold limit.
But they're gonna go make new low a day, aren't they? They're gonna do it to piss me off.
Remember like 40 minutes ago when you said you don't want to short it here, you're feeling late?
Yeah, no, I still stand by that. I would have needed to see some sort of retest.
I agree. That's the thing about these days. It's like that turn is so fast and you have to be so aggressive. It doesn't really give that opportunity like for that clear entry that you want. Like maybe that we had like that long for me prior to it was easier to take because it was a, you had that bid up, a pullback that lasted 15 minutes. That's when I got in. As soon as we started selling, we have not seen a green bar on the 5-minute chart. We still have not seen a green bar.
They're saying that the Treasury 30 yield topped 5.2% for the first time since 2007. Just now.
Is that good or bad for homes? I'm to be honest.
Risk off.
I have a hard time wrapping my head around bond prices.
It's like, oh, if the bond prices are going higher, why would people put money in the stock market if the bond you can get a good return on bonds,
Yeah. But like just how it's like 109.14 trades in 30 seconds, like $32 a point or tick, whatever it is. It's just like
they're crazy.
Yeah, it's like who made up this math? Give me some easy math. I want $20 a point, 4 ticks a point, 100 points for $1. Like, give me the easy stuff.
A shy girl. We got shy girl in the house. She said it's bad for mortgage rates. Oh, boy.
They're going higher.
Yeah.
So home prices should go lower. So does that mean they're going to force the Fed's hand?
I don't know if it was.
Tracy, what's your take here? Are they trying to force the Fed's hand into a raise? They're saying, hey, if you're not going to raise, we're going to raise. Is that how this works? Give me the deep dive. Because like I said, I don't wrap my head around that. But yeah, bonds, ZB. And we rallied $1 in 15 minutes there in CL2. All right, we'll see if I got my order now is at 07 quarter in the ES. 07 quarter, it's moved down. $100-point drop in the ES in 35 minutes. My goodness. Will earnings save us or will the CapEx ruin us?
Oh man, who's reporting today?
I think it's tomorrow.
No, it's today. Microsoft Meta. Yeah, Microsoft Meta, ARM, Qualcomm, Robinhood. And tomorrow we have Apple, Amazon.
Oh yeah.
After the bell.
So it's been a crazy week already, yeah.
Can't even get this. You know what? The VIX, like, we're up 4% on the day in the VIX futures, but I was reading something about like how the VIX is just so controlled by like the top 10 markets in the index, because basically the top 10 markets in the index, or top 10 stocks in like the S&P 500, like they just control so much of the price movement that, like, if you took those 10 stocks out and look at the VIX on the rest of it, it's like way higher.
Oh yeah.
When's the last time
Guys.
anybody had, new lows of the day here?
We're 7 points away from new lows on the Russell. Oh,
Dude,
my
we're
goodness.
crushing it
And
in the
ES
ES.
were like 2 points away.
I can't even get in. My orders are getting more aggressive here. I don't even know if I want them to. That's crazy. I guess I'll just leave it. $82.5 now is my order. I don't know, coming into the last 15 minutes of the day with those earnings, though, if I don't get filled in this in the next 5 minutes, I'm not going to be taking anything in the last 15 just because of those earnings coming out into the close.
Mm-hmm.
I'll CLL trade, but hopefully earnings don't impact CL. Crazier things have happened, though.
Oof, what a drop.
I can't.
Honestly.
You could say
I'm
that
trying.
again.
I'm trying. Oh.
Chi-Town, I don't know. I would just recommend not playing earnings. Just don't do it. It's not worth it.
Jim says, come on, Salma, let's do it.
What are we doing?
I think
He
he's
just
talking
got
about
signed
earnings.
up.
No. You can do it. I will watch.
That's no fun. I have no positions, Goron. I have orders, but I'm flat.
Russell's still trying to hold on here.
She gone.
You guys ever notice how Trump always comes out to speak around the Fed meeting just to like mute out that reaction? I think he's done it like the last 3 meetings. Needs to do it on purpose with Powell.
Well, he ain't helping himself. You know what? I don't know. I don't know about the CL trade either, honestly. I might just wait till Asia and go with my original limit. Which is
what are we
exactly
trading in Asia?
I'll give you my order. Oops, that is the wrong order. My order is going to be 83.97 in CL in Asia. Long oil.
Only oil?
That's all I got right now. I'm gonna have to, post earnings, the chart's gonna look totally different. So I don't have like something set up that I could trade. I do have a limit. My orders are automatically moving down with price, but I still am not getting filled despite how aggressive my orders are. Like I had order at 15, moved down to 10. Now I'm moving down to 90s. Not freaking A. I'm at 79s. No. And I'm trading a 1 minute chart. So I'm trading the 1 minute ATR and the ES, which is 13 quarter.
Sheesh.
Yeah, 13 quarter on the 1 minute.
Got a little bit of divergence here. ES made new lows. NQ still holding on. Got 100 points away from new lows on NQ.
You're going to need some big beats, which I don't think. What you saw out of Google was just their CapEx went negative free cash flow. I would imagine some of these other bigger names that are expanding into the AI infrastructure are going to be under the same boat as costs continue to rise for the AI buildouts. And so I'm not expecting a whole lot positive. Google had also, they had a one-time markup on their SpaceX gain of 80 billion or whatever it was, but that market's still lower. Yep. All right. I'm canceling my order. There's just not enough time here into the day.
Yeah, we also have algo in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm trying to walk her down, but she ain't get walked.
Walk her down.
I walked that order down, but she give me no fill. She's running away. She's running away like Robin. Zach's run away from him. Sorry, Robin. It's got some bearish signals coming out here in the YM and the Russell. Hey man, you want to bring it to the table? We're gonna play with it.
Bottom vol. I'm always unintentionally mean mugging, so. But yes, right now this is intentional. I'm hate watching. Hate watching this so bad.
Tanya's duck's mean mugging me. It hasn't moved its face.
There was supposed to be like a female duck. And then they never brought one.
Do you know the difference between a female and a male duck? Like they're your standard mallard. You know what a mallard is?
No, Jack. And I don't know if I want to even have this conversation. What is this? Where are you going with this?
I'm just saying, like, they're, the female and male ducks are like very easily to tell apart.
Okay, tell please do tell.
So the male ducks are actually better looking because they're trying to attract a mate, and the female, you've seen a duck before, right?
Bro, better looking?
Yes. They have green heads.
Chat is like, we don't want to know.
The female ducks are
talking about
your standard. Yes, your standard duck is brown, or like your standard duck is typically a mallard. The ones you're gonna see are mallard ducks. Like that's the most prevalent duck, and then you have green. See the mallard. Those are the males, the pretty ones, right?
Yeah.
And then the females, they don't have to, they don't have to attract anybody because the green ducks are just like, I don't care what you look like. You're brown, don't worry. But the male ducks got to be good looking.
Oh yeah. Wow. Birds are always like that. They got to impress. I love watching nature documentaries and you see all the little fancy bird dances, mating rituals they got to do.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. It's way more sophisticated than whatever we do as a human species.
I don't know. Someone asked me for Tanja inspo on earnings season. What kind of inspiration you want? I don't know. I don't take any swing. I never trade options on earnings and just come in every day prepared.
There you go. There's your inspiration. Don't trade it.
Control what you can control.
Control the controllables, eh?
We almost got algo time.
1 minute. Will NASDAQ hit new lows today? Chat. ES did, NASDAQ did not.
Attention traders, it's algo time.
Here we go.
All right. Well, that wasn't really too crazy of a reaction.
Yeah, they're pretty decisive on where they want to do this. Lower. I think I actually would have got filled there on my order that I had that I canceled. And then my CL order actually would have been filled too. So canceling the ones that work. It's all right. It's all right. Are we at lows of the day in the NASDAQ? I don't have it on my screen. Oh,
We're about 20 points away. We did not hit it yet, but close.
absolutely wild. Well, make sure you guys tune into the Discord. There's VIX getting new highs of the day finally as well after the close to hear Anthony talk with Brett Simbo about, I believe, the single stock futures and what's going to happen. So product launch, it'll be fun. It's a work in progress, but we're going to be here for it when it happens. You know we will. Gather your information now and be prepared. Me too, Mark.
There you go. There's the low day. NASDAQ just hit it at 352. So let's see how long it took from this high.
This is why I wore a green hat and a
Took
red
50
shirt.
minutes. Oh, Jack. it took
Oh,
50
this is
minutes
why.
there.
No, this is why I wore a green hat and a red shirt, because I was like, this is what it's gonna be. And this
He
is
said
exactly.
he's representing both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, no matter what team wins, I'm representing them.
Bring your green hat. Let's go. Come on.
I don't have a green hat. Most of my hats are black. I have so many hats now. I have so many just free hats.
Yeah,
I
people
think
give
I've
out a
maybe
lot of
bought,
free
like,
hats.
2 hats in my life.
People need to start giving out like boxer briefs or like, because I'm like, that's something like, or socks. Socks, dude, because
Yeah,
I mean,
I
nobody
have
will
socks.
see
I
them.
actually have socks on that I got from a company. It just says invest on them.
How about swimsuits? Like, you know,
My socks say invest.
nice.
Someone said you have
are they
mermaid
high
man.
socks?
Oh god.
They're pretty high.
They're running all the way up.
No.
Kneecappers.
No, they're like the Gen Z.
Ah,
Like half.
I know
the calf.
exactly what you're referring to when you say that.
People probably call me like say I look like a boomer or old man or something.
The golden toes, those are boomer socks.
Mm-hmm. Look, it says invest right there. Invest.
I see it. That's great advice.
You see? Up the calf. There you go, chat.
Look at that.
There was a sock reveal.
No screenshots, guys.
It's okay. It's just socks. Robin Sage still going off about his ex.
Yeah. Man, I bet your 90s playlist is real sappy, Robin. There's a lot of she's so high.
That's a great song.
Me. I love that song. Reminds me of my ex.
Oh.
Just kidding. But it's a good song.
Wow, this week close. I definitely think that, tomorrow we could have more downside.
I would say so. I think honestly.
No, the low of the week was put in 2 hours ago, Jack.
Dude, it was until it wasn't, Salma. We are traders.
Funny how that works.
We have the right to change our opinion at any time without.
We're traders.
I mean, honestly, I think the ES is coming halfway back from the March low, and that is all the way down at 7,000. I'll say it here now. It is July 29th, 3:55 in the afternoon, New York time. And I think the S&P 500 is going back to 7,000. And we are currently trading 73.50. So it's 350 points below us. And what do we just drop here today? This range is 148.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Well, Trey, do you tune in every single time? Because unless you do, then you would see that.
Monster move. And so if you hit me up at 6 o'clock, I'll tell you what I'm trading.
All right.
I know exactly what I'm gonna do if we are below 73.20s. If we're below 73.20s in the ES at any point in time, I know exactly what I'm doing. But we need to get,
Hey guys.
Hey Jim.
What's up?
Wow. I'm just witnessing a historic day. We don't get these very often, very rarely, but when we get them, they are historic. This is a big deal to sell off on not only the equity markets, but also the bond markets. Tomorrow will be equally interesting.
I agree.
And we're not done yet, right? At 4 o'clock, after the bell, there's a couple of great things happening. We have Meta and Microsoft that are going to be releasing earnings numbers, and we have Discord Q&A with Anthony and Simba live. So bring your questions in. There they are, two good-looking guys, Brett and Anthony, live 4 o'clock. Discord links in the chat. I'm going to be there. With one eye on, of course, the NASI in the ES for the earnings. Oh, man, it looks like you got a lot of orders still there, Jack.
Just CL. I had one. I took it off. I was walking an order down in the ES, but man, we couldn't even get. I don't even know if our rally. I mean, for as far as you sold off, it's I like to sell into pops, and I did cancel an order that I don't even know if it would have filled. It was like 75. I canceled it before we traded it, but I just didn't want to take anything 10 minutes into the close. CL is going to remain unaffected by all of this. I still kind of like that trend to the upside. We had that huge gap down Sunday night. We're moving up towards, we came all the way into a massive daily 50% retracement in CL on the Sunday night open and have been rallying off of it since. So that 83.97, I'm going to continue to keep into Asia until it trades. If we make a new high, that order limit will change. And I will be looking to trade Asia. This is definitely one of those days when you get the action going into the close. Like this isn't over. There's going to be obviously the earnings reaction. But I told Salma, if we start getting below 73.20, I know exactly what I'm doing in the overnight session. So that's all on the table.
So might you throw some trades in tonight?
Yeah, I'll post a trade I'm taking. Basically, just to give you a little, I'm going to take today's low before we broke down, and whatever new low we make, I'm going to divide that number by 2. And that's going to be my entry if we get below 73.20. So the low at 12.15 to whatever low ends up being, we have to be below 73.20 for that trade to want to engage and take the 50% retracement of that move and sell into that. And then use my bracket orders, which I've talked about with you, to manage the trade.
Well, hopefully we'll see some of these put support levels when we're trading above it in a down day like today are golden. That 7,400 0 DTE and that 73.50, boom, in the S. They were pretty good. I must admit. Tanya, got to ask you, are you going to be trading tonight or no?
No.
No?
No. I got plans. But I'll be tuning in to see what you guys come up with.
Awesome. I know Selma's not, even though I invited her to trade with me, but
No, I'll be trading this, and look at that. They waited until the close to come near that level that I wanted on the Russell.
all right. I have my text
They
messages
swept it.
open. Tomorrow, real quick, guys, because we're going to dip over to that Discord channel in a second. Second to last day of the month, we have PCE, GDP, jobless claims, a lot of economic releases tomorrow, which ironically are going to be after the FOMC meeting. And so we'll see what kind of inflation gauges we have in jobless information that we have tomorrow morning. Peter Scheer is our special guest. Farm for Tape Talk. We have Jack and Nick trading the open. Jack will be back. Can't wait to see you again, Jack. But they're going to be joined by Salma XYZ. So looking forward to that as well. Salma will get to see you again tomorrow. And then trading the close, Chris, Leo, and Salma is double duty for you, kid. I like it.
Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow.
All right. We could have a cameo by Tanya if you want. She's not talking. Anyway, thank you guys. Let's give these guys a round of applause for a job well done as usual. We really appreciate you guys being on NinjaTrader Live.
Bye, chat.
Everybody listening, thank you. Appreciate the subscriptions, the thumbs up, the cool behavior in the chat. Everybody, helping each other out. You guys are the best community on the World Wide Web. Remember, most important message, please be safe out there. Be good to each other. Thanks for coming.
Take care.